Yo, what's good? This is Arin Ray, and we are here in Cleveland for Summer Jam.
All right, tell me a little bit about what it was like to grow up in Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, born and raised, 1995. Growing up in Cincinnati was really dope. It was different. You know, it's definitely not LA. It's not the same. But you know, got all 4 seasons. Got to play in the snow. Got to do the sports. You know, everything I really, you know, kind of wanted to do or could do possibly at that young age. I was trying to do. You know. Didn't grow up in the greatest neighborhood. I grew up in Bond Hill in Cincinnati, so you know it's between like Avondale and all that. It was really cool though. I'm very family oriented, so I was around my family a lot more than anybody else. I got a few friends that I hang out with, and that's the same 2 friends I hang out with now that live in LA with me. So it was really cool growing up in Cincinnati, just different. You know, I had to learn LA.
It was after high school that you moved to Los Angeles, right? What was that like?
Yeah, moved to LA after high school, about 4 days after graduation. Came out, started working, trying to write, trying to find studios to get into. Really didn't happen at first, but you know, after months came, you know, I just trying to make different connects. I finally got into a studio and just started writing. So living in LA, and moving out there, being 17 too. I was 17 when I moved out there, so I was young. I was just trying to really get a grasp on life and trying to understand how things work as an adult, you know. And in LA, some of the things that happen there are nowhere near the same things that happen in Cincinnati. It's 2 totally different lanes, 2 totally different languages, you know. So it's really, I don't know. It's like it was the best thing for me, for real. Good weather, great opportunity.
When did you get your first big songwriting break?
That had to be like 2015. I think the first record I actually got on was a Nicki Minaj record called Favorite that I did with Berg and Jeremiah. Jeremiah's featured on it. It was on the Pink Print album. So that was like my first placement I got, and then I did a couple Chris Brown ones after that. And then just, you know, kind of got a steady workflow. You know, Jason Derulo, K. Michelle, Meek Mill, August Alsina, Usher, Chris. You know, it's been really cool the past 2 years being able to work with some of the people I work with. So, you know, writing it definitely was the way I got in.
What was it like to make that EP then that came out last year?
Oh man, it was probably the greatest experience I really had making music, because it was actually like the first time I really sat down and tried to make music just for me. You know, like writing for other people, I try to do different things. I try to use different techniques because I don't think the same as everybody else. So I wouldn't write the same lyrics down. I wouldn't say the things the same way that I would say for myself. So writing really, like, it made it all possible. And then Phases, how that came about, I lived with Nez and Rio, the producers out in LA from Chicago. Shout out to Nez and Rio. And I really kind of found a sound with them. You know, I really never heard people make beats like that, and really never heard my voice go over beats like that. So it really helped me. And for a year, I kind of shedded out Phases. It's only 6 songs. And now to be thinking that I'm having my debut album coming out soon and just dropped a record, and it's like full album length, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just shows the growth. So Phases definitely was a stepping stone for me, and I'm really grateful that I was able to get that record out, because it did pretty cool too. You know, I gained some fans and, you know, met a lot of people off that. So Phases.
The production is really great.
Beginning, yeah. Thank you. I co-produce a lot of that. I co-produce pretty much everything that I do, and I also write everything that I do. But yeah, the production on there, Nez and Rio, man, they really put their, you know, their foot in the Phases. You know, this next one is a lot more of me and a couple other producers, but they definitely have their, you know, their foot in this next one too.
Okay, cool. Just one last question. I mean, what's the live show like, and how is it evolving?
The live show is dope, and it's interesting because I'm like just now kind of putting it together. You know, I did a showcase for the label or whatever, but I really want to put like the greatest show together, you know. And I believe in having a band. I believe in having, you know, bringing out all the stops. You gotta really, you know, go for it if you're gonna do a live show. So for live shows, it's a band. It's me. I'm playing. They playing. You know, and it's just a good vibe.
It's great.